Bishop Lamor Whitehead, the flashy Brooklyn pastor who made headlines in July when he was robbed at gunpoint of $1 million in jewelry during a church service, was arrested on Monday for federal charges of wire fraud and extortion. The well-known pastor is accused of defrauding one of his parishioners out of part of her retirement savings, attempting to extort and defraud a businessman, and lying to the FBI. Hi guys, I'm Lady T, and welcome back to the channel.
Lamor Whitehead is not guilty of these charges. We are vigorously going to defend these accusations. We feel that he is being targeted and he is being turned from a victim into a villain. Now, everyone was wrong about Bishop Lamor Whitehead setting up the robbery at the church. People were arrested. He had nothing to do with that. This all stems out of a civil lawsuit that is being handled in civil court, and he will be vindicated.
Can you tell us about that civil lawsuit?
We're not going to speak about the specifics of the case because we just got the indictment and we have to learn about the charges we discovered.
Can you tell us about that lawsuit at least?
No, we're not going to comment on that.
Bishop, did you get $90,000 from a parishioner?
In the months since the masked gunman had robbed the Brooklyn pastor during his Sunday church service, he had portrayed himself as a double victim. One, of the crime itself, and two, the media scrutiny that dug up all the allegation of fraud that had trailed him for years. Everybody thought I was a villain, the pastor Lamor Whitehead said on Sunday in his most recent live stream service, but now they're seeing me as an anointed by God. Then hours later, Bishop Whitehead was arrested on Monday on charges of fraud, extortion, and lying to authorities. Federal prosecutors in Manhattan say that he solicited money from victims, including a retired parishioner, through threats and false promises of enriching them, then kept it. In one case, the authorities say that he falsely claimed that he used political connection to make millions through a business deal. The bishop, preaching at a small church, Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministry, was based on a prosperity gospel, which emphasized the benefits of accumulating wealth while worshiping God. He was known for years in Brooklyn for his designer suits and luxury vehicles, that once ran for borough president in Brooklyn, and boasts his friendship with Mayor Eric Adams. Then on July the 24th, his profile was lifted further when the masked men stripped the bishop and his wife of their jewelry in the middle of church service, a robbery that was caught on live stream and went viral. Two men was later arrested, seeming to put the mystery to rest. But then federal authorities was already months into the investigation to the pastor's past financial dealings. Bishop Whitehead appeared in federal court in Lower Manhattan on Monday afternoon and pleaded not guilty. He was released on $500,000 bond. The indictment unsealed details allegations that echo claims that have dogged the bishop for years. In spring 2022, according to the indictment, he tried to persuade a businessman to give him $500,000 and a stake in some real estate transactions. In exchange, he promised to secure favorable actions from the city that would make both of them millions, even though, according to the indictment, he knew he had no ability to deliver on his pledge. While the indictment does not name any city officials or any action, it does raise the question of the bishop's relationship with Mr. Adams, who distanced himself from Bishop Whitehead on Monday. "I have spent decades enforcing the law and expect everyone to follow it," he said in a statement. "I have also dedicated my life to assisting individuals with troubled pasts. While these allegations are very troubling, I will withhold further comment until the process reaches its finale conclusion." The investigation is being conducted by the FBI and prosecutors from Public Corruption Unit of the U.S. Attorney Office in Manhattan. The charges against the men accused of robbing the church was also brought by federal prosecutors in Brooklyn. Early in Bishop Whitehead's relationship with the unknown businessman, the clergy also used threats of force to get $5,000 from one of his businesses, prosecutors said. At the direction of the law enforcement official, the man made the payment, according to the indictment, an indication that the investigation into Bishop predated the robbery in the summer. The charges related to the retired church member was initially revealed in a 2021 lawsuit filed in Brooklyn and an investigation into the bishop's wealth. In 2020, a woman had recently visited the church, was recovering from surgery, prosecutors said. Bishop Whitehead offered to help her buy a new home, and a woman named Pauline Anderson, who's 56 years old, sent him $90,000 that she would draw from her retirement account, according to the lawsuit. I am a man of integrity and you will not lose, he said in the text. She asked for her money back, but he said it was too late as it was already invested. The false statement count arises from the encounter with the FBI agents through their investigation into his conduct, according to the indictment. The agents executed a search warrant for the bishop's mobile phones, and he told them that he had only one. Whitehead owned a second phone, which he regularly used to communicate, including to send text messages, describe it as my other phone, shortly after telling the agent he had no other phones, according to the statement from the prosecutors. Bishop Whitehead, as a young man, was a mortgage broker with an office in the Empire State Building. He was sued in 2008 by a former client who said that Bishop Whitehead asked him for an investment of $200,000 that he said he will quickly repay with an added $25,000, according to the lawsuit. He did not repay, and the lawsuit led the judgment for the former client of $306,000. He also was convicted in 2008 of several charges, including identity theft in Long Island, where he was taking out loans in other people's name and used the money for cars and motorcycles, according to the evidence presented at his trial. He spent 5 years in prison. When he emerged in 2013, he immediately found his church. His followers said that his expensive taste is not offensive but inspirational. Rappers, singers, and the way they attract people, that's what he's doing, one of his members said last summer. People want to know how he got all this. Once you get here, you see that he is teaching God. But according to court records, Bishop Whitehead persona as his Bling bishop was part of a deep debts he seemed unable to pay. Now, in 2019, he stopped making his monthly payments on his Mercedes-Benz and Range Rover in New Jersey, leading to a $68,000 judgment against him. That same year, he wrote a bad check for $164,000 to a company that built his home in New Jersey, according to a lawsuit. Well, Larry Reed did call it months ago about Whitehead was going to be arrested by the FBI, and days before Christmas, man, what a gift that landed. You know, I knew it was definitely a matter of time before this sketchy behind so-called pastor was going to get caught up in some mess. He is very disgusting, arrogant, a scammer, and an attention seeker. Good Lord, that man is an attention seeker. And that's why he wears all that bling bling and every minute he's in the camera and everything else, he's a very much an attention seeker. I mean, this is federal, so that's a wrap for him. The feds have a 95% conviction rate. You know, his blind members, followers, and that wife will probably say the devil is working against him. But baby, in my opinion, he is the devil, a very evil little man. He's the type that would continue to go to prison over and over again. If you already did the time, a person with any sense would be more conservative in their approach. He reeked of being a scammer and couldn't help himself. So glad that they got him, you know, defrauding parishioners and other people. I mean, it's very pathetic. Let me say this before closing out, and I'm certain that people are going to say this is why I don't go to church. You can't trust the people in church. The pastors just want money, etc., etc. You know, I grew up in church. I ran across the good. I ran across the bad. But every pastor is not bad, y'all. It really not. You have some that's doing phenomenal jobs in the community. And we actually have a gentleman here, a pastor in my city, that does a phenomenal job. He have programs for the youth, for the elderly. If you're looking to purchase your first home, there's all kind of this resources and programs he have created for the community. He even the city gave him some property. He has a garden. You can go out there on the weekends and pick your some fruits and vegetables. He, like I said, he does so much for the community. I will continue to encourage new and questioning believers to join churches with pastors who graduated from seminary and properly ordained at the ministry under pastoral or sacramental authority. Also, I will encourage you all to read your Bibles. You know how many people sitting in churches right now that don't read their Bible? They take what the pastor's saying to be true. You can't do that, because I have sat in churches, visiting different churches and stuff, and the pastor saying something. I said, no, that's not right. Oh, that's not true. Or you have some pastors, and I have sat in those churches too, that will use what the Bible say for their advantage to gain something for them. In addition, reading our Bibles give us guidance on how we live our lives in the way God wants us to. Lamor Whitehead, I wish you all the best, because you are about to head to prison as the new Bishop Lamor. And I hope Tyrone and James and Kevin and the rest of the gang all enjoy your sermons while you serving out your time. And if you have a clue what a true man of God is supposed to look like, you can see that Whitehead wasn't it. Alright guys, I want to hear your thoughts on this story, so let's continue the conversation in the comment section. And as always, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And thanks for watching.